There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
All right.
All right. I'm going to go over this MOA one more time for people that wasn't here, so people can understand what's going on. This is, I hope everyone can see this. This is the memorandum of agreement between the state and the county and the city. But it's mostly with the county because the county is the water authority. They're the only one that can give out the permits, not the city. The city is irrelevant. They can only do building permits. As far as sewer and water and stormwater, that is the county. This agreement is basically the district giving the county permission of what they can do. And this is based on the 1975 Act. Basically, the district is totally in control of the erosion and settlement agreement, not the county and not the city. On this section here, number 4, this memorandum may be terminated at any time by either party upon 60 days written notice. It will be terminated automatically without written notice if the Environmental Protection Division revoked the certification. Basically, what they're saying is the district can terminate this agreement at any time. That's what I did in 2021. Actually 2020, excuse me, December 11, 2020, I removed the MOA because it was 40 years old and because that they was taking advantage of the communities. And I wanted to make sure that we had control. So they sent a government agent to talk to me in 2019 before I removed it in 2020. And they offered me a $5 million contract. He said, I see your background. I know we know about your background in hazardous
Chairman?
waste. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Arlen Gibson. I'm trying to get into the Zoom meeting. Can you let me in?
Yes, sir. Hold on.
Yeah, Chairman, if you make me co-host, I could let people in.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just click on my name or hold it down, right click, you'll see make co-host.
Okay. Where are you? This you right here. Are you in on it?
Did you make me co-host?
I'm trying to.
All right. like I said, and you can right click in my name in participation. And then there's a pop-up that's going to pop up to confirm.
I think I did.
Whoa. Chairman still here? What did he do? He dropped. Oh, man. Oh, no, there you go. I see him. Okay.
Yeah, there's still several people saying they're to be admitted.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
hard to admit them when you're talking. When you're sharing your screen.
Yeah.
So you made me co-host.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll admit him in when he. All right.
Yeah, you're not co-host.
Oh,
I think he keeps booting him out when he tries to do.
oh, he's trying to make me host. No, you're trying to make me host, Chairman?
No, trying to make you co-host.
Co-host. Yeah, it
I
shouldn't
just
boot
got
you
a new
out.
computer. I'm not used to.
Okay.
Well, just let the people in that's in the waiting room. Go ahead and let the people in that's in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'm letting them in. Okay.
Well, good. The
I'm
troops
in.
are here.
All right. Everybody in? Everybody in?
Yes.
I'm in. Arlen Gibson's in.
Okay. All right. I want to go back to talking about this MOA so you guys can understand how everything works. Everything goes through the MOA. All across the state, everywhere. All right. The MOA is the memorandum of agreement between the state and the county and the city. But it's really between the state and the county because the city is not a water authority, so they cannot give out permits. Only the county can give out permits. So everything that's being built have to go through the county for approval.
I've been through some papers on those.
So what I'm not going to
Please
read
mute
it.
yourselves.
Hey, everybody, mute your mics, please.
So basically, what I'm trying to inform you about this MOA is that the current MOA that they have right now is not legal. And pretty much they're building illegally because in 2020, I removed the MOA. And if you can see on number 4 right here, this memorandum may be terminated at any time by either party upon 60 days written notice. That's me. That's the district supervisor. That's under Georgia Code 391-3-7-9. So pretty much what they did, they decide that they're going to write up their own MOA and sign their own MOA. Pretty much broke the law. They broke federal section
Donald Trump.
402 and 404. You see that Oz Nesby signed this in September 28th. And David Shipp signed it September the 29th. David Shipp was not determined. David Shipp had a conflict of interest. He was a state elected official, and he was on Chairman Oz Nesby Sewer and Water Board. You can't be an state elected official and be on a county board. That is corruption. So they also got Soil and Water Commission to sign this, and that was October the 14th. We were still in court. The court was October the 16th. So it never was a court order to remove me from chairman or from state elected official or from the MOA. So this is illegal. Everything they're building right now is illegal. They know it. That's why we're going to federal court for a TRO.
Thank you.
So I
What is
just,
TRO?
Temporary restraining order.
yes. And it's best to do the federal because they're violating federal section 402 and 401, 404. That's the Clean Water Act. And that's how I can go to the federal courts, along with the backup sewage, and along with that, they've been out of federal compliance for 30 years. So
Building while out of compliance. I mean, should they be allowed to build knowing that our county is out of compliance?
no, they should not. That is EPA Region 4, and also that's EPA in Washington, D.C. There should be very limited to whatever they built because the infrastructure cannot handle any more runoff or sewer water. So
There are a couple more people in your waiting room.
okay. But let me finish this right quick and then I'll bring them on in. Basically, like I'm telling you, is that these signatures are illegal. And basically, what, like I said,
They're committing a fraud.
huh? Someone answer a question? So they hurry up and rush and try to get them a MOA in place because they know the MOA that I removed, there is no court order saying that it was illegal. Everything was valid. And so they were sending me the development plans and then it just stopped. And so I sent an email, I'm gonna show you the email later, asking them why. And so Soil and Water Commission said, well, it went to your mailbox and came back. And I said, no, UPS will inform me every time a mail come to my box. So it was straight up lie. Like I said, they don't have a court order not to send those development plans to me. So everything they're building right now, those rental houses and everything is illegal.
When's the last time you received plans from anyone?
June 2021.
And Chairman Johnson, Arlen Gibson,
Mm-hmm.
So what can you do in order to get those plans that or allegedly rightfully under your jurisdiction that you should be informed about what's going on?
First of all, me and my lawyer is going to write the governor and the attorney general office because I'm going to show you the paperwork from the attorney general office that they got involved and they shouldn't have. You don't get involved with state elected official. They're only supposed to give us the law, and they got involved illegally, so they broke the oath of office. This is the wrong one.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Do you have more people in the waiting room?
Yeah, I just got everybody out. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna get to this sharing screen so you can see how they broke the oath of office.
All right, I just want to clarify. So you went to court because you moved to get rid of the MOA.
No, I went to court because hold on one second. Because I went to court because they was trying to say I broke the sunshine law, and I did not. And so I wanted to make sure that they know that I was still in charge of everything. And so the judge told me that you cannot sue state elected officials. And so that's why she threw it out. She said, you can't sue state elected official, but I'm not touching the MOA. All of that is intact. I'm not touching you that you're in charge of the money. All that's in position. So I'm in charge of the bank accounts. The grant is the one I wrote. So I'm in charge of everything right now. The city decided that they wanted to create their own districts and their own boards. There's no such thing as a board. That was the lie that they put out, and that was pushing back on me. I say, no, we all state elected officials, and there is no boards. We have our own account. We have our own districts. That is the law. There is no board. So they push the board so they can get the money come through. Around the nation, every district supervisor district have at least for their budget anywhere between $5 million to $10 million. So I'm asking them where in the hell the money is. We received $65 million here in this state for conservation. They sent us, the district, $2,500. And I'm saying, where the hell is the money? So they can't tell me, and I'm going to force it. They're going to get this money back into our county. So they basically used the boards, the 40 district, and made them have boards so they can control it with their Soil and Water Commission, which is not elected by the people. It's appointed by the governor. So if you see, this came from, hold on one second. This is the communication between me and Attorney General Office, Peggy Ettridge. Before Peggy Ettridge, it was a black guy that was in charge. His name was Isaac Bird. And that's who kept me covered for 2019 to 2020. Once he left, all hell broke loose. So this is where we're talking about the case. And this is where they're talking about that they have was going to make a settlement with the city because the city brought a sunshine suit against me saying that I should turn over recordings. I didn't have a recording that day. And so basically, they made a backdoor deal, but they didn't have a deal because I controlled the money. So when they said that, hold on. So there wasn't no lawsuit. It wasn't just, I told Judge Nancy Bill that she had a conflict of interest because Nancy Bill worked for, Judge Nancy Bill law firm was, worked for the city of Conyers. And I told her she have a conflict of interest, that she needed to recuse herself, and she refused. I told her she's breaking the law. Also, the Attorney General office, I don't have the paper right in front of me, but they also refused to represent me. So this is what happened, and this is how you see what's going on. All of this, I've been asking the Department of Justice that they need to get involved, that Rockdale County and the city of Conyers is corrupt. The main problem with why the city came after me, which they don't have the stand on because they're not the water authority and they don't give out permits, is because Tony Lucas had a 40-acre land that he wanted to develop inside of Rockdale County. And I told him, hell no, that's not going to happen. And so that's when they brought these charges against me. That's when they falsely arrested me. All of that came on during 2021 because they had a plan to develop that 40 acres that's over by Nob Hill, which they have contaminated over there. That's why they built apartment complex and townhouses. They told the people they was going to build $1 million homes. They lied. And now they're telling the people all of it going to be rental property. So pretty much Tony Lucas is the city manager and his wife is a developer. She is the richest woman in Rockdale County. So basically I'm dealing with families also. I'm dealing with the Boxdale families. And you guys are dealing with families over there in McCarthy Landing. A lot of these properties are owned by different white families. And they give me a call. They let me know. And I tell them I'm not afraid of anybody. So basically, they're using Georgia Soil and Water Commission to do the dirty work. And that's where Governor Kemp is trying to cover it up right now. I'm going to show you a few letters where they're trying to talk to me. And I'm telling them, no, I don't sell out. I'm not going for it. So we're going to go over a few more other sharing so I can show you what's going on. Okay.
I have to let you know that some people came into our community saying that you are not a chairman for Soil and Water. They've been trying to say that you're impersonating a representative.
Official.
Yeah. Tell them what they told you, Keisha.
No, they just came and they said, stay away from you. You're impersonating. You're not a public official. You're not who you say you are. You're basically a fraud trying to kind of box them in.
It's probably George Kalichek who made a death threat to me, who I filed charges against. And it's a lot of Black elected Democrats that's saying a lot of things too. So I'm going to show you that also. And let me show you this guy, George Kalachek. Um, the state, what I want to say, hold on one second. Well, I guess y'all votes in November 8th wasn't no real votes. So they're pretty much disenfranchising your votes because I was running for uh, district supervisor, and that's a state elected office.
So who said that? Trump people?
There's a guy that was
I'm
on the
just
ballot.
kidding, man. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
he is Trump. I can play his tape. That's all we talk about. But I need to just pull up this right quick so y'all can see where the Secretary of State office is. Well, the Secretary of State office is writing me and informing me that they George Kalachek, who was on his ballots illegally, and Brian Kemp and Chris Carr both knew, and plus the Secretary of State office knew too. I have the tapes and I have the emails, and they're telling me that they did investigation and this is going to the state election board, and they asked me to be quiet about it. I'm not being quiet about a doggone thing. I'm just going to take it to the federal court. They can do whatever they want to. They just now got caught. He shouldn't have never been on that ballot as an incoming. So you're going to hear a whole lot of lies. What the first thing they do about any Black man or Black woman that is standing up for the facts and the truth, they go after their character.
Yep. Character assassination.
So they put my pictures and my name all over the state. I'm receiving death threats. They put it in the news break, everything, and they lied. So I sent a cease and desist to Rockdale Citizen. So they pretty much lied, say I was holding the money and I had no rights to hold the money. Well, Truett Bank told them, yeah, he's in charge. And nobody else can be on this count but him. They also tried to get to our DA, DA Johnson, and asked her to send a letter to Truett Bank to remove my name off the bank account. And she told them, no, you need to go ask the Attorney General office. And the Attorney General office is not over state elected officials. One thing what you see is that what they can't do to me or come after me is because state elected officials have sovereign immunity. That's why you see that they cannot sue me or take me to court for anything because we have sovereign immunity. So I basically want y'all to see this because this it's only two ways you can be on that ballot as an incoming. You up for re-election, that was me, or the governor have to appoint you in a vacant seat that is up for re-election. And George Kalachek had neither one. And so I have the tapes where they said, yeah, you're right. That was the governor office. Say, yeah, you're right. He should not be on the ballot. I said, so y'all need to take him off. They had plenty of time to take him off. Cynthia Woodham, she said she wouldn't take it off because the governor wouldn't let her take it off. So we're going to find out. There's a lot of investigation need to be happening. So the most important thing is that we need to stand up for our rights. They can assassinate God all they want to, but the people told them November 8th, we don't believe you.
Brother Kenny Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Arlen. What exactly is your title? Is it
I'm a
chairman?
state rep.
What is your title?
I'm state representative for district supervisor. That's the complete title. Hold on, I'm gonna show you everything. Yeah, I'm the state representative for district supervisor. What they're talking about for as chairman, they had something they call a board, and I told them there's no such thing as a board because state elected officials are not on boards. That is city and county and companies have boards, not state elected officials.
Um,
Hold on one
okay.
second. I need to get to okay.
Sir, whoever's on the video needs to shut your video down.
Okay. Okay. This is where is where Gary Washington. I don't know who paid him off, but he looked real bad. It was like 5 months into my term. 5 months into my term, he's sending me this letter telling me I'm not sworn in. And I'm like, really? The reason why he was sending me this letter is because George Kalachek, no judge in Rockdale County would swear him in. Because what I said, he was on the ballot illegally.
Who was on the ballot illegally?
George Kalachek.
Okay.
So none of the judges in Rockdale County would swear him in. So they had to find a way to take me down for us, my character and everything. So they had to create something. So they had Judge Gary Washington to send me this lie about I wasn't sworn in.
Were you sworn in?
I was sworn in by Judge Clarence. Same thing he did in 2018.
Okay. Now, Brother Johnson, one of the things we want to be able to go ahead and talk about is talk about things with, we have evidence. One statement that you made, and I'm not in defense of anybody, but when you're saying somebody must have paid somebody off, you can't really say that until we have concrete evidence. So I just wanted to say that I'm in support of you, but I just wanted to say, those kinds of things, you're gonna have to back that up.
Oh, I can back it up.
Yeah,
Trust me.
what he's been paid or something like that.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
We're gonna just stick with the facts. He sent this talking about that Chairman Johnson, you're not, it was just a ceremony. And I'm like, really? And basically he had his OCGA law, which is not correct. So I called my friends that are prosecutors and that are judges. And the first thing they told me is like, really? A probate judge coming to a state elected official? That don't make any sense. If you know about, you have a state judge, you have the magistrate, and you have the probate, who is over merit license and gun license. You have nothing to do with a state elected official. So he said that Judge Clarence Kuffler just had a ceremony. And I said to him, okay, Judge Clarence need to write me. I talked to Judge Clarence and he said, I don't know anything about this. He said, I sworn you in 2018. And so it's the same as 2023. So then he said that that the governor and the secretary of state was involved. And I told him the governor have my phone number, have my email number, and I have talked to him several times. And the secretary of state have my phone number and my email address, and they can talk to me at any time. So I just want you guys to see the level of foolishness that's going on. If we are truly Black elected officials, then we need to be standing up for the community, not trying to tear somebody down. Simple as
You know,
that.
I'm really surprised about that in a sense, because now it pretty much explains Gary Washington lives around the corner. He used to be a board member and he's a lawyer. And some of the things in the past he said have not been accurate. And me and my wife have battled with him over certain things that were said. So I know when he took that position, he was appointed by Kemp. He wasn't
Exactly.
elected. He filled it in. And then
Yeah.
the second time, I believe he was elected in last year. But I'm kind of surprised, and now I understand, because I'm like this: you're a lawyer and you run the probate court. You see what's going on in our neighborhood. You should have had a proactive actions in that. And now pretty much I understand why he don't. Because like I said, he used to be a board member, bro.
Yep,
Yes, he did.
exactly right. So basically this group saw Georgia Soil and Water Commission and Gary Washington and Larry Cox. You got to know all the Republican Party. They are real good friends. They were real good friends. So no, he's not going against them because they signed off on those rental properties.
Wow.
I'm just trying to give you all an insight of what's really going on, why you don't hear your elected officials saying anything, because a lot of them have relationships. I don't. So I'm gonna get to a few more other things. I need y'all to see what's going on in the county, and the people that's calling in and want me to inform you. Hold on one second. I need to get back to this other one. I need y'all to see this. Okay. Okay. This is a sinkhole. This is the stormwater drain. This is under a lot of y'all property. This is the problem that we are having in Rockdale County. That is in several areas that look like this. Should we be billing? No. We should be fixing these old 60, 70-year-old pipes. This is what I'm fighting about.
Well, who would provide the funding for that? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be all about the money.
If you can't write a grant for EPA, if you can't talk to your senators, we got a bill that Biden passed, infrastructure bill. I know that I'm going to be in line for some of that $21 billion in soil and water because I have a grant. I'm the only elected official that have a federal grant. Did any one of them say that to you? I'm the
No,
only
sir.
one. I'm the only one that have a federal grant from USDA. You know, USDA do not give grants to Black people. But I have a federal clearance and I'm a federal contractor. So I speak their language. So as far as our county, we need to have people in place that know how to get these grants in here. But they're not putting the grants in here when you are out of compliance. That's what they're not telling you. So that's first thing EPA told me. They say, well, you know, they're out of compliance. So it's difficult for to bring the grants in here. Why should our community suffer for poor leadership? That's why y'all got to be understanding what's going on around you. You can talk about the white area all you want to, but they're going to make sure that their leadership is going to bring some money into their county. My first term, I brought in $250,000. That's my first term. I'm planning on bringing in a lot more than that this time. So this is what it's all about. It's all about taking care of our community and bringing funds into our community. Not just trying to tear down somebody and oh no, that's no. What are you doing? That's the question. What are you doing in the community? What are you bringing in the community? It's
Mr.
not
Johnson,
about title.
I'm sorry. What are the compliance that they need to be on point with? If you have any idea what it is.
They have to be on point with sewer and water. That's the major problem that they have. You having a backup of 60,000 gallons of water every month. Everywhere you go from 138 to Highway 20 to anywhere part of Rockdale County, you can smell the sewer. I get calls all the time of rights, hey, I need you to come over. We're smelling the sewer. It's a 1-800 number I have to put out for people to know that they have to call when they see sewer water spills or anything. And I want to make sure that I put that out. I just found out about that. They informed me that, you know, you guys are the ones that help them keep the data accurate, not sewer and water folks, because they're only looking at their facility and the pressure. When the pressure go down, they have to find where the leak is.
So is there a reason why they don't want to be in compliance? What's their reasoning behind that? That doesn't make sense. If you're going to have the compliance, that's going to correct the problem. So what is it that they're holding back on? It's kind of puzzling.
Well, my brother, what you're dealing with is greed. Basically, you're dealing with greed. If they don't have to have someone from EPA or basically EPA or some other enforcement to demand that they do the right thing. You know, like City of Atlanta, when they told them they have to build that tunnel, or they was going to keep getting fined.
Right.
That's the same thing here. If we don't have a consent decree in place, then no, they're going to ignore it. So we have to have a consent decree. That's why I'm going to federal court to try to get a TRO and then put that consent decree in place. So this is what have to happen. I already done talked to EPA and I already done talked to Senator also, and I'm talking to Senator Warnock, and I already talked to Congressman Hank Johnson. His people, all of them are involved, and they're trying to help me to get this consent decree in place. That's why I brought Senator also office to the meeting 2 weeks ago. And Congressman Hank Johnson, his folks are involved. I got to give to all our congressmen and our senators. I had no pushback from them. We working on it. We are talking to them to get this in place. But you know how slow is Washington, D.C. is.
Correct.
So I have letters from them. I don't have it up now, but I'll show y'all later. but I'm in constant talk with them. Like I said, I do have federal clearance, and I do. I'm legit. I know how. I've been in this field for over 20 years. So, reason why I'm beating them so bad is because I'm certified in BODs and CODs and RCRA. BODs is biological oxygen dissolve, and CODs is chemical oxygen dissolve. What I'm talking about is wastewater. You have the chemical wastewater. Well, you got two plants here in Rockdale County that have their own clarifier and treat their own water. We have no inspectors to make sure that they're putting out the right water.
Wow.
We have none on the industrial. I'm just talking on the residential area, how much waste and problems that we have. I'm not talking on the industrial. We have major problems on that too. So this is what we're talking about. That's why I'm way ahead of them. That's why they're like, what the heck he's talking about? Because I've been in the field and I know I have been with companies we have done investigation on. So this is not no new rodeo for me. I know exactly what data to ask for.
Wow.
So that's why you see the pushback and like they have got this the first time Rockdale County have been fined. I got them fined last year, and then I got them fined this year. So the next fine I need is the federal fine, and it's about our quality of life. And it's about the federal dollars that we need having in this county. So I need for you guys to be well informed. I also want to talk about real quick is about making sure that y'all have a good land use lawyer and making sure that y'all understand the land use is under EPA. I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm making sure that y'all know that those laws are under EPA. So you need to go and study those laws. So when you're talking to your lawyer, you're not talking like you don't know anything. You got to make sure that you're asking the right questions. But I can tell you now that y'all gonna probably have to do a TRO on those rental properties. Once I get this in place, we're going to stop all of this. It's about your quality of life and it's about your investments.
Correct.
The
And what's a
the
TRO?
area that huh?
TRO, which means what? TRO?
That's a temporary injunction that
Okay,
I'm trying
temporary
to play.
restraining order.
Temp-
I'm doing an injunction, but it's temporary restraining order. But I'm doing a federal injunction.
Okay, got you.
So, and basically what I'm doing it on is the NPDES permits. That's the fastest and easiest way because they violate the law. And I just showed you all the paperwork where they violated. So they cannot do anything about it. You didn't elect Georgia Solid Water Commission, and you didn't elect none of their permits, the people that's signing off the permits that's in Calhoun, Georgia, Dalton, Georgia. They don't live in your county. Why are they signing on your permits?
Right.
When y'all see those little white box on those property, you can open up these white box and they have the permits in there and they have the development plans all in there. And they tell you who signed off on what. So basically, what I'm trying to inform the community and everybody that's about is that you need to be informed of what's going on. We just stopped the rock quarrying that was going to be a mining company That was the first. They said they was going to do 66 acres. Now they're saying they want to do 200 acres. That was to destroy this county, and that what they was getting ready to build is about 10 miles away from y'all. So they decide on the zoning committee, they voted against it. So October the 3rd, it goes to the commission. That need to be stopped. Let me explain to y'all. These 30 companies and sorry developers are only coming because your leadership. When your leadership said, we want quality, they're not coming. They're not coming in here. And so we got to step up and make sure we are heard, and making sure that they're not bringing dirty jobs in here or bringing incompetent developing companies in here. And we should be, and I'm just so dumbfounded by 138. The tallest building right now in 138 is a liquor store. Really? We better than that, Rockdale. A liquor store. And so this is why we got to monitor everything that's being built around us. I live here too. And I didn't live here for about 5 years. I was living overseas. And then when I came back home, I just got involved in the Democratic Party because they had raised my taxes. And there was a lady named Elaine Davis that kept bugging me, saying, you need to have breakfast with me. And so she kept telling me that, hey, you're the only one that's going to stand up to the city and the county, because I've seen how they look at you. And I said, they ain't bothering me. Why I need to be involved with this? My business is good. I'm fine. And then I found out about this Soil and Water Board, and I watched it for 2 years. And I watched how much money was flowing. And those guys that was on the board, anybody got 10 acres or more, you can get conservation money. They was getting like about 100 grand. And they was getting that because they were saying we got peach trees on our lots. We got pecan trees on our lots. So that's how they was making their money. And so I remember Dr. King talking about land grants and land uses. I was like, oh, okay, this is what they're talking about. And so I ran for office in 2018. I had one sign and stood out there with one sign and won. And so when I got in office, I told them I was going to remove that MOA, and they went crazy. Then I found out about the 40 acres laws. Every time they do a LD or LDA, they're making millions of dollars. What I'm talking about is land disturbing. Anytime they clean that land, they make millions of dollars, and it's called 40 acres. That's the name of the law. And there's several other laws that they use to make money. That's why our taxes should never go up. But they don't show that in their budget. So that should be in, and really the community should have a say so into how much money, where that money should go at too. So these are laws that y'all don't know about that I want to make sure that you understand, and make sure that everybody understand everything that's going on here. It's not about our names and our titles. It's about what you are doing in the community and what you are bringing in the community. So that's why I always challenge them. Like, okay, I brought in $250,000. You've been here 2 years. How much money are you bringing into the county? So that's what y'all should be looking at. You know, when the election come up in 2024, you should be saying, how much money are you bringing into this county? What difference are you making into this county? Are you coming to our issues? I always tell people it's about issues and about solving our issues in our community. So you see that sinkhole, that is all around Rockdale County. That is major. So just like in McCarthy Landing, the first thing I told them, I said, they didn't use heavy equipment to take care of these sinkholes and take care of your property. I already had disapproved this whole phase 2 because I already know they had a whole lot of lakes, streams, and ponds. Now the lady behind us, behind y'all, she gave us the original developing plans. Game changer. It's a game changer. What she said, she said, Kenny, when you see this, y'all have to see this. It's a game changer. What they're talking about, those rental property, that was not on the original. That have to go to your lawyers. That have to go to your lawyers. Once I seen that, I was like, okay. She said, I know you're going to understand all the developing plans and everything. I said, yeah, I understand everything. I understand where they're telling them that they cannot, this is only residential. This is not for anything else. When you start talking about rental property, you're talking about commercial. And so they're trying to get around the commercial part and say they are rental. They are not rental. They are residential. No, they're not. They're lying. So basically, with that original developing plans, that should help y'all out a whole lot. So
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. So those the original plans were only for single family homes, right? They were not for any commercial rental.
Correct.
And so is there a way they could change that? Does that mean they went to the county and asked to rezone or asked to, for this part in phase 2, did they have to go and get approval from the county in order to build? Because just letting everybody know, me and the president of the HOA, we went down the end of July and requested documents. The NPDES that he said, these permits, I requested those permits the end of July. And I did an open records request. Do you know we still don't have those permits? They have not sent us anything. We just got an email yesterday with the excuses from the director of planning and commission, telling me that they moved and things are in boxes and they're having a hard time getting documents. It made me look up the law. I looked up the law, the Open Records Act law, / sunshine laws state you have 3 days to give me the documents. So they told us in August 2nd, they sent me an email saying they received our request. Then August 15th, we're still looking information up. Now you only had 3 days. It also says that you have to give a written documentation stating why you cannot give the documents in the amount of time. You have to tell me how long it's going to take and how much money it will cost. We have received none of that. It is now the end of September. So there's a reason they don't want me to get these permits. I'm letting you guys know there is something really wrong here. All I am is a concerned citizen asking questions. But we have a right, because these are public record. It should not take you 2 months to give me something that, per the law, says 3 days. You have 3 days to give me.
So, Miss Rachel Williams, they're long overdue in breaking the rules and regulations or slash the law. Can you make it to the meeting? I'll go to the meeting with you and bring up this issue, their delay in not furnishing us with the information that we requested. Next Tuesday, I'll go with you.
Absolutely.
I'll go with you. And let's do it next Tuesday at 10 a.m. And any of the homeowners that are here today on this call and are concerned about what's going to happen to their community, you need to be down there with us if you can. If you're not working, or if you can take a little
What I would,
lunch break and come on down at the meeting at the BOC, the Board of Commissioners.
I'm
Go ahead,
Y'all
Miss
need to
Rachel.
check,
gonna let you guys know how it goes.
y'all
Oh,
need to
I'm
check
sorry. Yeah, I'm
that,
gonna let you guys know how it goes.
okay. Y'all need to
You go
check
to the
that
meeting in the
time.
morning. You have to go before it starts. Is it 6 p.m. on Tuesday?
Yeah, but make sure you check that time. They said last night that meeting was going to be at 6 p.m., but make sure because they are still fighting about that rock aquarium, that mining that they want to put in there, and so it was full. And I know those folks are going to be. They got their signs up and everything. I mean, I'm proud of them. They called me like Friday and said, "Hey, we need you involved in this fight." Uh, so they packed the house last night.
Okay,
Okay.
so we need to check the meeting. It may not be on 10 a.m. on Tuesday. You're saying
Yeah.
it may be at 6
6
p.m.
p.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And okay, all right. Because I think that was one
Got
of
to
the
be there
things.
before 6 p.m. What you have to do out. I'm gonna tell you guys what you have to do. You have to grab a red card because they only give you 3 minutes to speak, right? When they
Right,
allow public.
right.
So several of us need to grab a red card and fill it out. And you just put your information, yes, your address. And so what I can share with you guys, what I want to do, if they do not give us these documents, we sent the email. I said we wanted documents by the end of business day today. I requested them. If we don't get them, you best believe I'm gonna be there Tuesday and I'm gonna read the emails while they're recorded, while people can see it live on Facebook, and let them know how long it is taking them to give me documents that I asked by
Okay.
the end of July. They should
Good
be
point.
ashamed of themselves, and they can also fine for this several
And
times.
and,
You get
and the,
days. You don't
yeah.
get 2 months.
And the explanation that they gave you is a flimsy explanation there in the boxes. Well, you know what? I tell you what, to put fire underneath them is to start doing something legal, some legal motions to go ahead and get them done. And you shouldn't have to do that because
Oh,
really
no.
the law is already there according to what Rachel is talking about.
Yeah, that's
So
under the Georgia Sunshine Law.
yeah, so this is something we got to go and take care of. And
So let
then,
me.
Rachel, do you want to go ahead and let everybody know that we got a meeting, on October the 4th or something with an attorney? Is that correct, Rachel?
Oh, you hold on one second, because I
Yeah,
was
can
looking
you?
for something else to share.
Yeah, share
um
that with everyone.
If you look at
So
your
they.
guys' emails, the HOA sent emails regarding the next meeting is with our attorney. We requested, and I put up on GroupMe to send in your questions so that the lawyer has time to research it. So because of course, we're paying for his time that he's there, and we want to make sure we're not asking several of the same questions. So that he can answer the questions that we already sent. You guys did a good job. 20 questions got sent already that he's researching to get answers for us. And let me see, October. I'm looking for the specific date, but actually you can look on the GroupMe because I know it's on there. Actually, it is.
I believe it's October 4th, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna look
received it
now.
in the mail. The Georgia Community Management sent you
Yeah,
a letter in the mail.
October at 7 p.m.
So
October 4th
everybody should have one.
4th at 7 p.m.
at the McCart Landing Clubhouse.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a letter
Uh,
sent to everybody.
Yep, I got it in the mail. Attorney Gilbert Morales.
Right.
Let me answer your question, Rachel.
Thank you.
They're supposed to inform the public under the NOI and let you know if they're going to do anything different in their development plans. But they're so used to doing the backdoor deals, uh, and they'll cut a deal like they did over there in Nob Hill. They sold them that this just going to be one apartment complex, and then the rest of it's going to be $1 million homes. Well, and it was supposed to be 20 acres. Well, they cut a deal. And then they made their deal, and then they told them later that, hey, we are going to build all townhouses. But they were supposed to give the public a say in yay or nay, disapprove, and they didn't inform the public. They just sent a letter and say it's going to happen. So this is what's going on that we have to stop. That is not legal, and um, like I said, they have to put this like in an NOI to inform you that, hey, we are thinking about changing this developing plans and giving the public an opportunity to come and speak their mind and let them know, hey, we don't want that to happen. And they didn't do that for you guys or nobody else. They just made their deals.
I have a question. So what they told us is that I'm gonna say I mean DR Horton, because DR Horton was our builder. They said they made it seem like they were gonna build the next phase. Then I was told that they lost the bid. Now, when someone bids to build in our community, um, does that mean that they already have permission and they have their permits and all that stuff in place, or do they bid first and then they come to planning and development and then they give their plans and then they get permits approved and then they build? Like, how does it go?
I'm going to show you in level 2 certification. That is the phase 2 and phase 3 are using phase 1 permits, and it's legal. That's what they're doing. But they're still not, they still can't use the NPDS permits. So they're using the common development permits. It's 3 permits. You got standalone permit, that is hotels, what I want to say, convenience stores, and then you have the infrastructure permits. And what they're using is the common development permits. And so they can use that common development permits. That's how they make their money on phase 2 and phase 3, because they are doing less quality. They're doing the bare minimum. And so we don't call them lots. We call them another name. I don't have it in front of me. And but we call it another name. And so they use those common development permits, but they don't have the NPDES permits. That's why they have to re-up on that, on the soil and water permits. They have to re-up on the Clean Water Act. That's the only permits that they have to do new. So, but they still have to get approval for the development plans. They still have to let the public know. So that's what y'all. That's what
Sorry, I
you
was
was up
muted.
against.
If you're using old permits, what you can just move forward and start building once you get bid. They don't have to submit anything. I mean, because what is it that you need to look at before they start? Because I feel like you're our first line of defense, but they've been bypassing you this whole time. So no one has been
Mhm.
sending you any plans whatsoever. So people
No,
are building however they want to. We don't know if they're safe plans, if the plans are gonna mess with the land that we for,
no,
because right now I got sinkholes and all these issues on my land from something that you received plans for in 2021 and did not approve. So that's what I'm talking about. Like we have a huge issue. Our homes are built, but if we have
now.
issues later on,
Hmm. So that's why
you know,
you see that phase 2, where they was using the phase 1 permit for common development, but they had to come to the district. They had to come to me to get approved. Otherwise, they can't go forward. They needed that NPDES permit. But far as them making bids and far as them developing plan, they're going to use the common development permits, but it still don't give them the right to start building. They have to have the NPDES.
So who did they get that from? Who did Quinn Residences get an
Georgia Soil
NPDP?
and Water Commission. Georgia Soil and Water Commission. Remember, I showed you when I pulled that out. I told you, I said, you see who name was on here? Georgia Soil and Water Commission. And then they had another guy signed the permit, but he don't live in the county. That's
So
not
people
legal.
that don't live in our county approving building for our county, is that legal?
No,
Okay, that's all we need to know to get them to stop building, you guys. I mean, that's what we're looking for.
no.
That's what
That's why I quote y'all that code, that Georgia Code Law 391-3-7-9. It says the district only. That's what I went over with my lawyers, and they said, well, well. They really went trying to go around the law. I said, yeah, it's just blatant. That's what Republicans do. That's Brian Kemp. Stacey Abrams said it right. He's in the pocket of the developers. So the developer have an association they call Atlanta Building Association. They have a meeting once a month here in Rockdale County. Y'all need to be a part of that. I'm gonna find out when that meeting is, so y'all will know. I'm gonna make sure y'all know when that meeting is. All the developers are members of the Atlanta Building Association.
Okay. So then I guess I would have to ask the county, but I mean the meeting, just so you guys know, if you were not at that meeting with those directors, they really wanted to focus us on our, real estate, whoever our realtor was and HOA is, and they should notify you. The people who knew that they were gonna actually was planning and development, they receive all plans. So
Mhm.
I'm wondering why they did not notify our HOA. And really it does move back to the county because they know about all the building happening here. Who's not the community? Who's not letting the community know?
Mhm.
And there's no way. If you guys look at the meeting that I was, he spoke about how he has a long-standing relationship with McCart Landing. Well, if you have such a great relationship with McCart Landing, why didn't you let them know that they wanted to build rentals in our community? My question is.
Let me break it down to you how
Okay,
it
so
all
even to
starts.
this day. Mhm.
It start with you have the developer. He goes to the planning and development, and so the planning and development approve his development. They don't approve it. They take it, and they'll take this money for the development. So then they have to notify the zoning committee. Then the zoning committee have to see whether it's residential or is an industrial area. And then the zoning committee will approve. Then it goes to the county or either the city. And then they approve it, but then they have to go to the district. And then the district have to look at it. The county sent it to the district. Nobody else, not the Soil and Water Commission, no one. That's the county. That's why when the county is sending that to Georgia Soil and Water Commission, that is not legal. They're supposed to be sending it to the district. That is in the law. That's why you guys was asking the question correctly, and that's why they froze up when they was trying to say, well, there's HOA and the realtors, and you guys start saying, well, it start with you. And you heard them when they was kept saying, well, no, it's y'all covering. No, it start with them, and it start with the MOA, and it start with Rockdale County. Rockdale County is the one that sent out the development plans. They are in control of all the development plans. So
So
when
this
you are asking for Georgia Soil and when you're asking for the permits under the Sunshine Law, they're supposed to give that to you in 3 days. No excuses.
Does anything supersede our covenant that we could use? Because they keep going back to the covenants. You know, your covenant says this, your covenant says that. What I'm listening to, what I'm hearing, what's superseding that is, it's number one, we're out of compliance. So how can you allow building in a county where we're out of compliance for sewage and water? Because you're going to connect all of these new homes that you're building to
Yeah.
that same system that is already backed up and out of compliance. So that's one thing that we can use, right?
Yep, that's true. That's very
Okay.
true.
The second is this was not approved for building in this phase. All they had to do was come back to you with better plans. Instead of coming back to you, they went and got it signed by somebody outside of the county. That's correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's two things. Regardless of what is in our covenant, or we also need to look at land use. Is this area zoned for rentals to be built?
Exactly. And that's what Lynn sent to us, the original. And that's what they were supposed to send to you. Uh, and once I seen that original, oh hell no. No, they was no. Y'all need to, all of you guys need to see this one. You got a copy, right, Rachel?
I do. You have it in your email.
Yeah, I have.
Pull it up.
Hold on. Let's see if I can pull it up.
And pull it up. Like why we all here? Let's, because y'all, we got to know what we have. I mean, I don't just want just the board to know. The homeowners need to know so that they can say this is what we want to do. No, we have evidence. We need to move forward.
But Mr. Johnson and Rachel, one thing that when Rachel you said about was it set up for rental? It's not set up for rental. It's set up for single family homes, but they're renting. Other than where you have rentals like they're building around the corner from us in back of Walmart over there, those are like set up for like a rental apartments. These are not rental apartments, they're homes. So that's what they're going on. So you can't really fight them saying it's not set up for rental. You got to be specific in saying rental homes or rental apartments. They're going by the covenant saying single family homes, but they're renting them. That's the issue, which is very, very difficult if you ask me. I think our fight is with the soil and water, as Mr. Johnson said, because like I said at the meeting, there are people that own homes in that community that rents them out. And you can't stop them from renting it out. But it's back to being built as single family homes. They following that part, but renting them out, that's where our fight is at with that. Rather than rental apartment buildings. Those are not rental apartment buildings.
But I
So it's not
definitely think
going.
it's fair enough. It's fair to allow people to come here, own a home, and if they later choose to rent it, that's different. When you have one developer specifically building homes to be rented and one person to own 125 lots, I think that's a huge difference. And I think that's what a judge needs to hear.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have a better, not saying you don't put that in, but I think we have a better chance to stop the development according to the soil and water being integrated and the pipe system and so forth. Because if
Yeah,
you stop,
quality of life. I agree. It's a quality of
right?
life issue.
So let's for argument's sake, what happens if they correct that and they still build the houses to rent? You're building a house.
I see what you're talking about. That's
Mr.
why
Johnson, they can't
this
correct that
road.
quickly. It's like 30 years worth of old messed up sewage. They have to update those pipes. And my thing is, if you're gonna have people coming here and build, why don't you make sure they put in money to update our infrastructure? They're just letting people build and tearing down the infrastructure and they know they don't have the money to fix it. The first thing they tell us is
Gonna
we don't
cause
have the
more
money and
problems.
resources.
It will cause more problems. The more, the worse.
Yep, I think the whole Rockdale County needs to know about this to say stop building. You need to fix the infrastructure because it's preventing federal dollars to come into our county to fix the issues. They have no money. He just said he's
Right.
in conservation. He's supposed to have millions of dollars and got $2,500. That's disgusting.
That is.
And if we could win
This
on
is
that end, maybe if we could, let's say, if we went on that end, it definitely is going to prolong them from building homes to rent out. Period. Whether they build them to rent out or to own, it's still going to stop them from building. If we could win that argument,
Do you know if they rented any of the homes out already?
I don't know. That I don't know.
There are
well.
three people so far at that meeting. There's
I
three
talked
people
to
that
the
want to sign.
Yeah, I talked to the builder over there, and he told me that they're going to do a 2-year lease, and the third year they give them an opportunity to buy it, or they're going to put it on the market. And I told him, I said, well, the value doesn't drop in it. And he said, well, we make our money on the front end. I said, you're going to make it on the back end too. I said, what you making, about 80%? He said, yep. I said, so you're going to make about 50% on the back end. And what I'm talking about, 80%, I'm talking about the price of the home. And on the
Right.
back end, what I'm talking about is the interest.
Correct. Right. See, and that's the bad part about it. He said what they make. Hell with what the homeowners got, what their property is worth now and then. You know, they don't care about that. They care about filling their pockets. And that's what it's all about.
Well, this is where y'all can pretty much nail those existing homes. Is that y'all have to have a strong covenant on the bylaws, whereas if they violate anything, you can take over their homes and resell it. That's what they do in other neighborhoods. Um, so, and you are 501, and plus you really consider as a nonprofit business. So that's all I can tell you about that. But as far as that DACA stuff and all that, that don't make any sense. I'm trying to read more about uh, the land uses, and for what this guy is doing, that is not in our training. We go over what permits that they can use and what they can do, what they cannot do. But I never heard of anybody taking over and saying that, hey, we wrote you the bylaws and you got to sign our bylaws. That don't even make any sense. That really didn't make any sense. And what I was asking your HOA, the head of the HOA, what I was asking is I wanted to know about your minutes and who signed what. And if you don't have the proper minutes or the proper signatures, then this is not valid. And that's why your lawyer have to look
You
at
mean the
that.
covenant's not valid?
Yeah, we have to look at did they vote? Did they have a second amendment, a third amendment? If they don't have, it's just under like Robert rules, what that completely follow, and that you have all the proper signature and notary Republican sign off on it. I mean, you got to have everything in place. Anything that's missing is not valid. So y'all need to check that. That need to be checked real close because the builder have to turn it over to you. And for what I'm saying is what's it, stars and stripes. And I'm just trying to find out. I'm just trying to make sure all I's is dotted and all T's are crossed. In business, you always make sure you do that. Because one thing is not done, then especially being a federal contract, if I miss one doggone thing, my name is trash. I got to make sure everything is done properly. So that's what I'm just asking you guys to make sure y'all look over your paperwork pretty close. And if it's not signed properly, if Stars and the Stripes didn't send it over properly, then it's not valid.
So, Mr. Johnson, you're saying that from the original bylaws that was signed by 20 East, which was Mr. Lanier and them and company, when they turned it over
Mhm.
to Stars and Stripes to make sure that they didn't make any changes without our knowledge.
That's correct. Y'all need to
Because it should have been
look
the
it
same.
over. You need to look it over real closely. Miss, I done seen many documents where a certain paragraph that is not supposed to be in there, and that will make it invalid. I'm just telling you, as far as business, that's what we always look at, especially if we're trying to get out of something.
Can you admit some folks got out by accident? They said, please let them back in. This is good information.
Okay, I was trying to do the sharing on Lynn. I have that up, but let me go back. I'll go back to him. Hold on. Okay, I got him. I got him back in. Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, we need to really look at y'all bylaws that y'all did with Stars and Stripes. I mean, it just if a paragraph is missing, and then you got to go by OCGA laws. You got to make sure that everything is in place, and you never know if you don't check. I'm just telling you about being in business and plus being a federal contractor. There's one thing missing. I'm screwed. I got to make sure
Yeah.
every I's are dot, every T's are crossed, and they're not taking any excuses. Y'all know how federal is. They don't take any excuse. Even if they're screwed up, they still ain't taking no excuse. So all I'm just trying to tell you, this 501, this is your business. This is all your business. You can't just look at it as, oh, it's just HO. No, this is your business. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure that your business is the paperwork is right, and you running it off of Robert rules. So you got to make sure that everybody voted properly, or it's invalid. And that's when you can tell that deck to go to hell. You don't have nothing in place. So that's all I'm trying to say. Y'all really need to check that.
But that's good info.
Okay. Let me get back to.
I have a question because there was a comment. Group me. Someone was saying that the declarant is in charge, and so they don't understand why what an attorney can do. So what is it that you believe attorney can do? Because I mean, I understand that people feel some kind of way, like, well, you know, hey, if it's already legally says that the man ain't gonna let us change our covenants, then we might need to just have a better relationship with the declarant and see what he'll allow us to do.
But do y'all
What do you
see
think about
around the
that?
nation? Have they seen around the nation how these subdivisions are fighting these people, fighting these deckers? They're not really. I know y'all calling them deckers, but like my attorney called them, they're a corporation.
Right.
These are corporations with deep pockets. Do you think they give a care about trying to please you? Not
Correct.
business.
You're right.
So what I'm trying to tell you, while y'all up front right now, and while things that haven't totally developed, y'all need to fight these folks. And all across the nation, what I've been seeing is they've been settling with them, and they have like 5%, but they're not having total control of the votes. They're not outvoting HOAs, because this is what they're trying to lead to. When they done took over your domain letter, I mean, domain name, come on now. That's pretty much telling you we taking over. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, all I'm just trying to tell you is that, as far as your lawyer concerned, you got to do your own homework also. You got to know the land uses, like I'm informing y'all, is under EPA. And I guarantee you, somewhere down along the line, they went around a law. And that lawyer, he got other clients. I'm not saying anything bad about the lawyer, but I'm just saying you got to do your own homework also to help this lawyer, to make sure y'all up on. This is your investment. This is your 501 business. You live there. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I have a 501 and I use it. I had to put a roof on my house. I didn't have to pay taxes. I went to the Home Depot and I didn't pay no taxes because I have a 501. But this 501 give you a whole lot of benefits, and y'all need to read and understand the benefits of your 501. So
You're saying the HOA is a 501.
Yeah. Your HOA is a 501. I don't know if it's a 501c3 or 501c4 or 6, but it's a 501.
And Rachel, one thing I think people are going to get confused. The people that are planning on building these homes for rent, that's not the declarant. The declarant sold in those lots. So he sold the 125 lots to them, like Mr. Johnson said. You think he really give a damn? He's making his money back because when they purchased it, Mr. Lanier went bankrupt. They purchased it and they sat on it because nobody was building at the time. Now building them picked back up. But the people we're fighting is Quinn, not the declarant. I mean, they have some authority there that we can probably fight them with also, but the big picture is not the declarant, it's Quinn. That's who we're fighting. And I think a lot of people got confused on that.
I think Quinn came out to look at that that pond y'all had over that back behind Ray. That was Quinn that came out. So he's right. It's pretty much Quinn that's in charge.
They purchased those lots. And I remember when what's their name? Star and Strike, Drebeck, whatever name they want to call themselves. When they purchased that, them Australian guys, they sat on that land. They like I said, they wanted to build a bunch of homes with not the proper uniform. We went to court with them. So now they got the land, they selling it, they're making their money back and some. They don't care. So the fight is Quinn that's building those homes for rent. The declarant can say yes or no. They have the authority, but I doubt very much if they're going to say no. They're making money. And at the end of the day, all of them are in bed together, like you said.
Yeah. I'm going to send you, Rachel, the name of what we call lots. We don't say lots. And I got to send you the name of it. It's in my training, but I have to send you that name so you know exactly how to speak their language, because they don't call it lots. And so what I'm telling you guys is that you got to do your homework. Can't just please don't just try to beat up on the lawyer or be saying that the lawyer is not doing this and doing that. You got to do your homework.
Right.
You got to do your homework. So, like I told you, the land use law is under the EPA, and EPA Region 4 is right downtown. So I can give you all the numbers. I know all the folks over there, and that's where you're gonna have to fight, because if you know, when Rockdale County came and the directors, they kept talking about land uses. So we got to know what their laws are about land uses also.
Yep.
So, so you guys are 501, and you got to flex your muscles. This is your business, and like I said, you got to look at those paperwork. I've been through this long time ago. I've been a federal contractor since 2002, and I already know about different contracts, and several times I could have got burnt. But I took out and did my due diligence and looked through it, and yeah, it was a paragraph miss. So that's all I'm just telling y'all. Go back. It's not about your HOAs or your people. It's not about villainize them. It's just about going back and looking at the paperwork, and then asking questions. I
Okay.
guarantee you something is missing. I guarantee you something is missing.
Yeah.
Now, the way that this Decker is having an attitude I'm telling you, I promise you, somebody cut some deal and they didn't dot all the I's and cross all the T's. You just seen earlier what I was showing you about how they tried to do a sunshine law against me, which wasn't legal, and it was all about money, and they didn't dot their I's and cross their T's. And so when I do the TRO, they got to explain.
Oh man.
So what I'm sharing here is this is what Lynn sent to us. They have Lynn have 25 acres right behind McCarthy Landing, and then her friend behind McCarthy Landing have 400 acres. So they've been sitting back there for a long time before y'all was even developed.
That's above that hill, like in the back of the complex where the second phase is.
Yep. Yep. If you go all the way down to the end of your street, past what I want to say, your clubhouse, going all the way to the end, Lynn have a little street right there, and it's a nice, beautiful property. I've seen the lakes and stuff over there. I'm just trying. I'm bringing in. I got an email from USDA NRCS, and they're going to send Fish and Wildlife out to look at the properties around you guys. What I'm trying to do is get it to be a federal. What I want to say, I want to be federal protected, and so that's what I'm working on. I want to make sure that those areas can be federal protected, and for him to send out Fish and Wildlife, they have a map of your area. USDA do. They have a mate there. If I need to see everything about your area, I call USDA. That's who give me the official map of what's going on over there. The accurate part of land around you, what's feeding to what. USDA have all that. And so one other group is coming out is EPD. Veronica, they're coming out too.
Your loved ones, including access to financial and emotional support.
So, okay. This is what Lynn sent to me. I'm trying to make it bigger for you guys so you can see it. I'm going to make sure y'all get a copy of this. this is the original condition of the zoning. And this is almost like my checklist. And if you can see, they're talking about several condition that is ongoing. And I can't get too nerdy with you guys about it, but what I'm seeing is they are bypassing a lot of areas that have concern and that you cannot build on. And so I'm just looking at this and saying, really? And this wasn't shared with the public? So I want to make sure you guys get a copy of this. This is very, very important. Let me see what's the other one. This here is the plan for phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. You see the borderline with Newton County and everything. That phase 2 over there, where those rental houses are built, that's going to be a major problem for their backyard with those hills up there. And they plan on building the houses back there. That's not going to happen. That will be a total disaster because they have no vegetation on that hill up there. And when rainy season come in, that's going to be a whole lot of erosion. If y'all haven't seen phase 3 back there, that is really a very pretty area that they're about to destroy. So this is the original development plans. These are the original. This is 200 acres, I think that's, yeah. So I'm gonna make sure y'all got a copy of this. I still have to look at it some more, and I still have to call some people that I know to look at it too, so we can really determine what exactly they did, because they built on a lot of streams and ponds that they really pump out these streams and ponds that really down the road going to cause y'all a lot of problems.
Isn't there someone who's supposed to be protecting that? Shouldn't those streams and ponds be protected?
They should be. It should be. That's why I'm bringing out USDA and Fish and Wildlife, because like I said, they have the original maps also, and so that's going to be a whole lot of explaining why these natural ponds and streams are being drained. Who gives them the okay to do that?
What can happen when you drain natural streams and ponds? I really just don't know, so that I can understand.
Well, you're draining something that is you don't build on top of streams and stuff that you have drained, because what you're going to have over time, you're going to create sinkholes, and over time that land going to be pulling away from the foundation.
And
Just like I
this
did.
got approved?
So is that all of the phases, or is that just like phase 3 to worry about erosion?
You need to worry about phase 2 and phase 3. They showed me that they had some spring uh, um, water on phase 1, and they don't know if it's going the spring water going to pop up at any time on any one of your land. And I was like, really? I said, I didn't see that part on the developing plans. She said, yeah. And so I seen it on her land, on land. I seen it on her land. I seen the spring popping up and stuff. But she said, no, phase 1 have some too. And I said, well, about phase 2? She said, they have some too. But I'm not trying to give you no fear. I'm just telling you that you need to look at these original developing plans.
But
Phase
what
1,
happens? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were pausing.
go ahead.
Commissioner, what does that mean for people that already have homes in phase 2? That it could be a possibility that a stream can pop up or erosion, like something was built, out of order. Like, what are our rights in regards to that if we're already living in the homes and we purchase them?
Well, that's why you got to follow these injunctions on here, sir. Um, I know what you're talking about, um, and I'm telling you that that's why I disapprove it. Um, what your rights is that you got to bring it to uh, the courts, and you got to make because the developer is going to deny everything. They're going to say, "Oh, it's nothing wrong. Oh, you're just trying to do a skate tactic. Oh no," but you the one that went around the law. So only thing I can say to you is that um, y'all have to bring it up now while we at the front of it, because you talking about 5 years from now, they're not hearing you. And that's why I'm telling everybody, no, you got to say something now. You got to be upfront. And even the builders told me, yeah, you're right about that. We have to say something now. How they can fix it, I don't know. Right now, I'm just telling them bringing in heavy equipment and pack the ground down. That's the only thing I know right now. And I called a couple of experts, and they told me, yeah, you about right. You need to level that ground off. So, and you need to bring in heavy equipment. They didn't use heavy equipment at all in phase 2. You can see that. That's why they got all the sinkholes and everything in there. So that the guy just wrote Rachel and told me, yeah, I'm going to bring in the heavy equipment. Really, make sure you bring in experts, grading folks too. And I want to let y'all know, y'all not the only one that's having the problems like that. You have Grand Cayman, who owns about $1.9 million. Y'all need to check that subdivision out. I'm trying to connect y'all to them too. They're having the same problems. Miller Bottom, they're having the same problems also. So what I want to make sure y'all know is if you're not following and saying that, hey, we got a problem here, and making sure it's up front, making sure it's in writing, um, then they're going to tell you, once they leave out, they're going to tell you, hey, we don't know nothing about it. You never said anything about it.
Yep.
What I'm saying is that still gives you the right to have them to come back and correct it. That's what we're talking about in far as I'm talking to them, and far as we talking in our language, I'm telling them I'm about the beginning. And so the builders say, well, we usually don't have to deal with that. I say, well, you're gonna have to deal with me because I'm about the beginning, and I want to make sure everything is in writing from the beginning and the problems from the beginning. So when you leave out and we call you back, you don't have no problems because we addressed this at the beginning.
Come on.
So, I just want y'all to make sure y'all remember this sinkhole. This is around the areas, and this can happen to you at any time. This I just lost a good inspector, Orlando Robinson. He just resigned. He just told me he couldn't take it anymore. He got one more year to retire, and he said he might come back for his one more year. But I depended on this guy to take care of the problem with the people. We don't have any inspectors here in Rockdale County. We had just one. That was him for the whole county. For this whole county, we only had one code inspector. He's the one that put out the stop work orders and stuff. He's the one that do the audits. He's the one that I asked him. The state's supposed to be doing audits on the development too. That is another law I have to show you, that they're supposed to come out and do audits on the developers. And that's another question I got to ask. Where's the paperwork on the audits? So, like I said before, this 501, you guys, this is your business. And
the view come on at 11 o'clock.
So, anybody got any more questions?
Not for me.
I'm on the mic. Hello.
What can we do as a community? What can we do as a community? Because some people feel like individual homeowners can't do anything. That why aren't this representatives asking the county to shut this down, to shut Quinn down?
Yes, you can. First of all, it's election coming up. And I wouldn't want to be running knowing that a whole subdivision and around me is upset. So, but no one is putting anything in writing to the commissioner and telling them, hey, we want this shut down. We want y'all to stop building. You got to put that in writing to them. And you got to deal with their attorney too. Because the first thing their attorney is going to say, well, we already approved this. So, but the people have the say so. I'm going to tell you now, those folks in Alpharetta, those white folks up there, they don't play. They want something stopped, it stops. I do a lot of inspection up there. They are in total control of their community. And that's what I want to see you guys do, have total control of your community. This is nothing personal against none of the commissioners, none. It's about your quality of life.
Right.
You're the taxpayer. And the only thing you are asking them to is to stand up for your rights and to stand up to these developers. That's all you're asking for. They can't stand up to these developers. Really? Why are you voting for them? I stand up to them all the time. I'm not against growth. I'm just against dumb growth. I'm not against and dumb growth with clear cut and putting renters of property in the middle of $1 million subdivisions and building tiny houses and all that. Man, that is not proper growth. And building mining, man, come on now. We deserve better, and that's what I'm fighting for. I want to make sure that we get this. I don't want to have to live on the north side and all of that. I live here, and my county should be looking just like the north side. So,
well, Mr. Johnson, this is Arlen Gibson again.
Mhm.
I think there was an excellent suggestion about perhaps maybe even a letter writing campaign to go ahead and let our elected officials, whom we put in office, to let them know our concerns. That's a powerful way to get their attentions, because when they see numbers, they like, oh, okay, I better go see what's going on. And usually, if you're persistent with it, it turns into action. So
Yeah.
the letter writing campaign, we may need to do that. And we
Mhm.
might be able to go ahead and direct a letter to them and tell them regarding phase 1 and 2 that we, the homeowners of the HOA, we are in opposition to these rental houses that are being done, and we need to work together. You guys need to work together with the HOA in order to mitigate these cheap homes and small homes and rental homes in a community that is predominantly home ownership. So they want to rent it, and we just need to go and start writing. And Rachel, I'll get with you, on trying to formulate and conceive a letter to send to them from the HOA with the blessings of TC and some of the other board members. Hopefully, we'll be able to go ahead and do that. If not, we can just do it from phase 2, homeowners. Oh, I mean, if we don't get the support of it, but I hopefully think that we can go ahead and get the entire HOA phase 1 and phase 2 to rally behind this and hopefully get some action done. So that's just my input on that.
I'm glad you said that, Brother Gibson. I'm going to tell you what happened. On Friday of last week, I got a call from Walton County. I've been helping those folks up there with their car plant. And she called me about this mining that was right down the street from me, over in Millstead. I put something out on next door. About 1,500 people react. Next thing I seen is that they had signs up, stop the mining. Next thing I seen, they had website up, put $2 toward us. Next thing I seen, they was putting out, they had a petition. And last night, they filled that room up, and they was loud. And they made sure they let the zoning board and everyone know that they came to fight, and they're not going to have that in their community. So I'm just giving you an example. That happened that quick. And now they organized for October the 3rd. That's all I'm just saying to you. If a closed mouth don't get nothing done.
Amen. Amen.
This is Linda Beavers, and I apologize for not coming on camera because I'm not dressed for the day. I agree with the plan and the idea that we need to get organized. We need to get ourselves together, to get involved with knowing the language, as Chairman said, because we can't communicate if we don't know the language. We have intelligent, smart people in this subdivision, and we can pull together, maybe start with the committee who have skill sets to be able to write and to be able to, come up with ideas. We need everybody's input, but we can't do with a mass people. My suggestion is to put together a committee from this group and then connect with the HOA leadership and see if they will support the need to get something done. Everybody's property is going to be invaded because the land that these houses are built on are not stable. And
No.
every time the sewer systems fail, we're going to be impacted. My house was built at the end of 2007, and it was doing fine until they moved the drainage system that was carrying the water away from my house. Didn't put anything in, and now I'm having issues. I'm in stage phase 1. And so we need to come together to do something. I am retired, but I worked 38 years for the FDIC. I do have some writing skills. I do have thinking skills. We all can put ourselves to come together to come up with a plan and do like Chairman said, don't just sit here with our mouths closed complaining. We need to get focused and start getting some action moving forward to get our complaints acknowledged, and then come up with a plan to get some remediation for what has been done. I hope
Absolutely.
I hope everybody will join in the fight, because we're in for a fight, but we've got to be diligent and we've got to be organized so that we can have a united front. So on our community letter, we can put out a filler to see, who would be interested, let them know the skill sets we're looking for, and then organize and have a meeting.
All right. Amen, Ms. Beavers.
Like I said, those folks came together in less than a week and they made their voice known. And all I'm just telling you, if you want to make your voice known, you have to come together and know exactly what you're talking about, because they will challenge you. So it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that, because I always want you to challenge me, because that make me better. Because I'm going to go study and go, like the Bible said, study, show yourself approved. So I'm going to study and find out and know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just want to say to you guys, I'm very proud of your community and what y'all standing for. But you still need to know these other community, Grand Cayman, Miller Bottom. I have a relationship with them. All of y'all pay the highest taxes in this county. Without you guys, this is a very poor county. Y'all pay the highest taxes. That is a fact. So you should have better service. And we're not trying to demonize nobody. We're just trying to get people to just do the jobs and just deal with our issues and stop trying to avoid. Well, I'm gonna tell you what the elected officials, all of them, be telling me. They always tell me, say, Kenny, I see your heart. We know you're good. We see your heart, but I'm gonna tell you now, those people gonna turn on you. I say, well, I'm not in for that. I'm not worried about nobody turning on me. I'm here for quality of life. So that's what they always tell me. That's what all elected officials always tell you. No, you just need to leave that alone. No. They're gonna turn on you. Like November the 8th, they didn't turn on me. So that's what I look at. I said November the 8th, they didn't turn on me.
Absolutely.
So I'm just more fired up now.
Me too.
Are there any other elected officials that are willing to work with you to help us? Because I've only seen you so far.
Like I said, I don't demonize nobody, but like I just told you, the way they explained to me is that they don't want to get totally involved, because they say, oh, next thing they know, you guys going to turn on. So that's what they and talk to me in private, But
Okay, it's fear-based. I get it. They're afraid.
Yeah.
Well, we're afraid to lose our property value.
And then you got to understand, a lot of them have friendships with these developers and these Republicans, and a lot of them have a lot of friendship and a lot of funds that flows. So you got to understand the relationships. I don't have a relationship. I told them I don't need no relationship with you. I don't have no shackles, and so I'm not trying to get my name known by anything. I'm just doing what I enjoy doing. You can't pay me enough.
Good for you. Good for you.
So I've been in this field for over 25 years. I know exactly how all the permits work, how the applications and everything. I know exactly how all of it works. And that's what shocked them. So basically, we are 60% black and brown. In the city, all the districts are 70% black and brown. So majority of the people that's in the city don't even know what district they're in. So a lot of those Republicans, they get in with 75 votes.
Well, I can
75
say we are part of we are not a part of the problem, because in our newsletter, it states what district we're in.
Mhm. So you need to know who's your representative. Was Doreen Carter cover you, or was it Rhonda Taylor is your representative? You need to know that. Um, y'all need to know exactly who covered your area, and you need to send them a letter and say, "Hey, we would like for you to come see us." I have all of them, email address and phone number. If you need that, I can get that to you. But you need to have a relationship with them regardless. You need to have a relationship with all of them. Rachel just blew me away when she had all the directors there. I said, that don't happen. that don't happen. But you had all of them there, and I was like, wow, that's what you have to do. And y'all need to have a relationship with Senator also, Senator Warnock, and Congressman Hank Johnson. I have all the information, and I can get y'all in contact with them. But you need to have a relationship with these people. Okay?
Thank you so much. That sounds great, and we're on it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure I give you all the information because I know a fact Hank Johnson will have a conversation with you in a minute. He will do a team online in a minute with you. I have done several ones with him. John also is
Well,
one
let's
that.
set up a Zoom.
Okay. Well, I can get in touch
Let's
with
set
it.
up a Zoom. We don't have no time to play.
Right.
I mean,
Like
did
I
everybody
said,
agree with me? I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm really just speaking for myself, but I don't want to make it seem I'm speaking for everybody in the community, but y'all let me know, would y'all like to do that?
No, I think that's a good idea, Rachel, but I think we first need to get organized so that in addition to having a united front, we got the message together that we want to convey, and we don't come in everybody speaking and stuff. We need to have, spokesman designated, so that they can consider us serious and organized and informed about what we're doing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, I agree. Thank you.
Yes.
I
Yes.
agree.
Yes. Then I can call them and make sure we bring them all in so you guys can talk to them. Y'all need to have a relationship with all of them. So
Maybe we can have all of our, I think we're District 2. I think we're District 2. We can have all of our people come and meet with us. It doesn't have to be an official HOA meeting, but I can ask them, can we use the, our area to meet with everyone here? Because election season is coming up and we need to know who we're supposed to be voting for. They need to know what our issues are, and we want to know who's actually going to assist us with our issues.
Yes, yes. But like I said, you want to form a relationship with them. It's like I have a relationship with uh, several federal entities, and I have a relationship with USDA, NRCS, EPA, Interior Department, and also I set up a MOA with them. So I have a relationship with them. When I call them, we talking the same language, and I don't have any problems getting to the directors of any one of them. So that's why you have to form a relationship with them.
Politics.
It's not just politics; it's business too. Y'all are 501, y'all business.
I stand corrected.
That's why I'm gonna keep drilling to y'all. Y'all are a business. Y'all are 501. Y'all, and being a business, you have a say so. You have a seat at the table. But we have to form relationships, and that's what I want to make sure you guys do. Form relationship. You can complain all you want to, but you got to form a relationship with these folks. So that's what we're gonna do. Um, Anything y'all need from me, you can call me at any time. You can send me an email at any time, and I will get back with you. I do run a business, but I will get back with you. Uh, um, but please, anything, any question you got, please let me know, so I can help you. And so, if I don't have the answer, I got a lot of friends that's in this business, um, that can give me the answer to help you.
Okay. Everybody that's on this call, I mean, do you guys want to get together so that we can organize? Because I know I don't have everybody on this call's number. I probably have access to it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe an email.
Yeah, I don't mind
I'm down.
Rachel to get together with you. We need to come up with a date and then formulate something that we can present with one voice to elected officials. And that includes the VOC, that includes State Representative Doreen Carter, that includes State Representative Rhonda Taylor, that in I believe Darshan.
Angela Moore is have part of Rockdale County too.
Yes, she does, the northern part, or the southern part of Rockdale County. Angela Moore and Darshan. What's Darshan's last name? She's a state representative. All these people are state representatives, and they represent part of Rockdale. Yeah. But we need to send a letter to them, the delegation, the state representatives, and also the BOC, and the city council too.
Mm-hmm.
Of Cunningham.
Yep.
That are coming up for election October 16th.
Yep. We have Charlene Carr, and we have Pamela Hicks, who I'm all supporting both. And we get both of them on that city council. That is a 3-3 tie.
All right. Good strategy. All right.
What are their names?
Charlene Carr and Pamela Hicks.
Now you can only vote for them if you're in the city, and if you're in their district. Now, if you're not in their district, you can't vote for them. That's the way the city has it, and like that.
Yeah, Charlene Carr is in District 3. She'll be running in District 3, and Pamela Hicks will be running in District 4.
Is Connie also Brooke? Is she coming out for election?
Yes, but she have no one running against her
Mhm. Okay.
because she did the people work. She was always voted 4-1. She
What
always
district is she in?
she in District 2.
Right.
She
Yes.
always voted against the liquor stores, dollar stores, all of it. She would call me and say, "Ken, I'm so pissed." I said, "Yeah, but you got to be professional."
Right. But you know, $1 that's connected to Purdue.
Yeah.
Your former senator here.
So the city have is trying to be Mayberry. They're trying to be still controlled by the families, the Barksdale families, the Judge Vaughn families, Sigmund Road families. These are families that been here since the early 1900s.
Right.
So that's how you just know what's going on. Because like I said, I just have people calling me and say, "Hey, let me help you put the dots together."
Right. Right.
So that's how I know a lot of things that's going on in this county. I got to give it to the citizens. They are like, both Democrats and Republicans. I'm gonna tell you, they're mad as hell. They said this don't look like my county. I don't recognize my county. And this county is the second smallest county. We should be a golf cart community. We're not trying to be a cement asphalt community. So that's and that's going to take you guys standing up and speaking out. And we also have. I'm gonna make sure you guys know the Atlanta Building Association. We have to have a relationship with everybody and letting everybody know where we stand. Can't just talk at things. You got to talk to things. So, like I said, I want to make sure that you guys have all the knowledge that y'all need. And I want to make sure that y'all have a relationship with that Grand Cayman community because I talk to them all the time. But yeah, bringing you guys, all y'all together, man, that's going to be so awesome. You're talking about a better community. Yep. So you're 501, you are a nonprofit business. So
That was my thought exactly. If we can get a united front with other communities who have similar problems, and we do present that united front, we come in, prepared, speaking intelligently on the subject and everything, we'll get their attention. And I hope that as a result of all of this, we can become a better community, built to weather any storm that comes about. I think we can do this.
Yep, we can. You can. And I'm going to be 100% behind you. I'm already talking to, like I said, to the congressman and everyone, and I'm mentioning your names. And so, just like I did Nob Hill, I brought them to EPA. We had meetings, and the same thing I'm going to do to you guys. Make sure that y'all are a player into this system. You're not just sitting there grumbling. No, you're a player into this system. You can pick up the phone and call any one of these officials. And that's what it's all about. So, anybody have any more other questions? Well, I'm going to end this, and I enjoyed that you came here for the meeting. Thank you for being patient with me and my computer I just got. uh, but I do need an assistant. I'm going to make sure I get me an assistant. But please, If you got any questions, anything you need to talk to me about, just let me know. And I will be talking to the elected officials too, to make sure that they also know that they need to form a relationship with you guys.
Excellent.
Thank
I
you for your
appreciate
time and your wisdom.
I didn't hear you.
I said thank you for your time and your wisdom.
I appreciate it, man. Like I told y'all, I enjoy this so much. This is my field. And when I'm sitting here looking at what they're saying, and I'm like, that don't make any sense. When I look at Cop City, I was like, really? You don't have to do no violence. It's all about the permits. And plus, you have a consent decree. This is all federal. So a lot of things that's happening in our community. We just have to stand up and make sure we understand the laws. And that's what that was irritate the governor office and all the rest of them when they deal with me, because they know I know the OCGA laws and the federal laws. I've been in this field for a long time, and one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to learn the laws, and when they change the laws, I'm going to be on top of it, because that's what we're a nation of laws, and we need to know how it affects our finance and how it affects our quality of life. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everything. You guys give me an opportunity, and we're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's going to happen, and we're going to be on the united front, and it's all about McCarthy Landing. It's not about my name. I'm good. I'm good. It's about McCarthy Landing, and it's about the people. Like I told you guys before, y'all got to be concerned about the 40 miles radius around you. You have to control that. That's the way the folks up in Alpharetta, that's the way they taught me. That's the way they say, we control what's around us. And we make sure that those property values are up.
I do have a question in regards to that comment. The gas stations and things that they shut down, someone made it aware to us that those are going to be housing communities as well. But in addition to the voice that you're saying we have as a 501 and the 40 acres that happens nearby in proximity, how are we able to leverage our voice into even what they build 40-mile radius around us? And so that we know as well, how do we even know and get that information?
Well, you're going to see these NOI signs go up. I don't know if you've seen one. I'm going to try to send you a copy. I don't know if Rachel got one. She's probably going to send you a copy. But they have the NOI sign, and then they have like the county, a picture of the county on the sign. And on that sign, it tells you what they're going to build. And they'll tell you when they're going to have a meeting. Other than that, you have to call the planning and development and ask them, hey, what is going on in my community? But that sign is the NOI sign is the first thing that you see. And they're going to tell you that they're going to have a meeting about approving whatever they're going to build in there, whether it's a townhouse or whatever. And then you come to that meeting with your group or with yourself and say, hey, we are against that. We don't want no 500 homes. We'll see that you do 50, 100, but we don't want that. And at the same time, you can be saying, no, that don't match our community. It's all about the comp. And that's all about, hey, our homes over here is $1 million. Why are you going to put a $250,000 townhouse over here when that townhouse would be about at least $500,000? See what I'm saying? So that's where you can go there and complain and bring the fight to them and say, hey, that is not the same as what we have over here. And you're building that in within our 50 miles of our subdivisions and everything. And we're trying to make sure we maintain quality here. That's how it works. So I don't know if you've seen the NOI sign, but just send me an email and I can send you a copy of it, show you exactly what you, and I'll guarantee you when you start riding around Rockdale County, you see those signs, you're gonna be like, okay, that's a whole lot of NOI signs around here. They're on just about every corner.
How long is it supposed to be up more so before building starts? Maybe like 6 months, 3 months,
Okay,
a few weeks?
It's, oh, that's one you got me on. I don't know how long it, like I said, it have to go through procedures and they can go through that procedure real fast. But I still don't know what the law says, how long they have before they start building. But I know the public have to be informed. And I have to get back with you on that. That's, I don't know how fast that they can start building. All I
Okay,
know is
so
on the NPDES, when we get the developing plans, it give us 35 days to turn it in, whether we approve or disapprove.
I mean, because we don't need no more dollar stores, no more liquor stores. We need some Sprouts, some Trader Joe's, some Fine
Yeah,
Dine. We need stuff like that.
yeah. And that's
Come
where we
on,
need
that's
to,
what I've been saying.
yeah, yeah. That's why I'm talking about we need to have these relationships. And that's why I'm talking about how y'all need to have your committee and have your demands of what y'all want in your communities. And nobody hearing you just mumbling. You got to put it in writing, and you got to form these relationships with these senators, with these uh, Atlanta Building Association, all your elected officials, and then the next thing you need to build is a relationship with the business community. Uh, you need to know who's over the board of Whole Food. If Whole Food telling you, hey, we build over there, but we want tax free. You can give us a tax free land. Yeah, we'll come build. I done heard that before in a lot of business. So here you are, a big community, and you should be able to tell your uh, board of commission, hey, you see that land over there? They say that if you do a tax free, they'll build a Whole Food. We have the dollars in the community. So that's what I'm trying to talk about. We got to form these relationships and we got to have these companies knowing that we are here and that you're coming to see us. You're not just coming to see our elected officials, you're coming to see us too.
There's a planning committee I was told about when I was at the BOC meeting, because I had no idea. I was just sitting there listening. They asked for a comment and they were sitting there voting on things like this. They were voting on 100% rental community, a community with just 5% rentals. They were voting on rezoning, and it was just those three people making the decisions on what was going to come in our community. They voted on another I don't know if it's a liquor store, but they said, well, this is not a liquor store. This is
Oh boy.
a place that can sell liquor in it. Like if you have an establishment or a place that sells food that also wants to be able to sell liquor, and then they approved it. But I didn't know that I had any say so. So like you could attend these meetings, but of course they're when people are at work. They're at 10 a.m.
That's what's so annoying. They're all at 10 a.m. doing working citizen hours. And I just found this calendar and I'm gonna share it in y'all group. But yeah, these are public meetings. And I remember hearing about this too. Because they do a lot of stuff like this in DeKalb County that I've been getting interested or thinking of because I work in DeKalb, but I live in Rockdale. So I'm about to share this in this group. Found the calendar.
Oh yeah, I put the calendar in. Did I put it in
For
there?
the planning and development, not the
Oh
it's
no,
another
planning,
meeting.
no. I was talking about BOC. Okay.
I'm talking about the planning and development meeting because that matters too.
It does.
That's what controls our 40-mile radius.
Yep.
It's like everything is so strategic and working definitely against us. Because again, we don't know. It's not posted. We really have to start digging in order to find
This is
information.
Exactly. This is why I tell y'all, y'all got to come together and you got to form this relationship and you got to be informed. You have to be informed. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You got to know about the chambers of commerce too. You have to know about their meetings. You have to know about the chambers of commerce meeting.
What do they
So
do? What influence do they have?
they're the ones that try to bring the companies in here. Yep. They're the ones that be trying to persuade companies to come into Rockdale County. Y'all need to be a part of them.
Okay, someone said, please repeat.
What I was saying is that chambers of commerce, you need to be a part of them. You need to know exactly when their meetings are, so you can know exactly what companies they're trying to persuade to come in here.
Oh, okay. And then I don't think people knew that we're trying to stop them from building, but also we're trying to make sure that that land is considered green space because they've clear cut and got rid of a lot of trees and like a lot of like it's really disturbing the ecosystem where we live, and we're trying to protect that. So that's a good reason to push, not to just not build rentals. Even if they were building homes, it would have been important to know that if they keep building, it's still gonna destroy a lot of our of the ecosystem because of the way that they're building.
Mm-hmm. What I want to say, that's why I want to try to get that area as a protective lands up in that area, because I already know they haven't done any kind of environmental studies. That's another question that it's always been asked. What kind of environmental studies have you done? Because usually environmental studies last for at least about 2 years before anything start.
And we can request these things from planning and development.
Yes.
Okay, so it's an open records request.
Yeah.
Okay. They just got to give it up.
Yeah. So this has been a very productive meeting. I'm really proud of you guys. There's a lot of communities are not aware of all these different um, uh, entities that you need to be a part of and you need to be aware of and know exactly how they affect your community. They just know, well, I got to go and vote. Who I'm voting for? No, you need to know all the entities and what they represent and how it affect your community. So you got to. What I'm saying is, you got to be proactive than reactive, and that's what I want to see y'all do more proactive than reactive. And so, bringing together and getting your committee, y'all being proactive, and get to know the senators and the congressmen and all the elected officials. You being proactive. So, so
There's a chat. Someone said request someone start a fresh chamber of commerce.
uh, well, I totally agree. Yeah, I went to them and I was like, really? Uh, because I'm a part of a lot of international groups, and uh, uh, this point blank is that a lot of the international groups I'm part of, they have companies and stuff that look at Rockdale and a couple of other areas, but Rockdale just don't have a strong chambers of commerce that know how to talk to them, and so uh, yeah, I pretty much agree with them. We should. This county could be one of the wealthiest counties in the state. It can be. We just got to deal with the infrastructure, our schools, and our leadership. So once we fix all of those, we fix those three things, we're one of the most wealthiest counties. So that's, I mean, they tried to give us a nickname. They was calling us South DeKalb without Marta. That's what the Republicans was calling us. And I said, "Oh, really? Where you get that from?" Yeah, that was what they was calling us. And I said, "Oh, really? No, we Rockdale." So,
That speaks a lot about everybody in that vicinity.
yeah, but we got a very strong community here, and we just need to speak up. That's all. We just need to speak up and get to know and get the knowledge of how all these entities work. And I'm going to do my best to make sure your guides know everything. Anything you need to know from me, please let me know.
Can you drop your information in the comments so if anyone here doesn't have it, they can contact you?
Okay. And can you make sure they get my information too?
Yeah, that's what you putting in the chat. Put your information on there so they have access.
Okay, so I can't get you as my assistant.
Oh. I'm dropping stuff in our group me. Look, we over here trying to. Let me see. I will add the website because when I look you up, I mean one of those websites, it does not have you there as a chairman. It just your name is at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have my lawyer to tell them to cease and desist and remove my name. They're trying to use my name to get grants, and the federal entities gave me a call and told me, say, "Hey, they're trying to use your name, saying that you are part of them." I said, "No," and I said, "Well, we informed them that cannot happen unless you give approval." So, when you go with grant.gov, they're going to let you know it's only one administrator. And so they tried to play like they was administrators and I'm a part of them. Just like Jim Crow, they tried to steal. So, but they can't because the government just changed everything. And as far as the grants, they just flipped everything. They got rid of done numbers and they pretty much took over. And it was for the good. The way they got the security in place, I'm 100% with everything they're doing. So
Well, thank you for your time and the info.
uh,
I appreciate it.
thank you. My whole thing is, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm really fighting for to have that area as a protected area. Um, that is your community is a beautiful community, but the surrounding areas around your community should be a protected area. Um, and we still got at least uh, with phase 3 and properties around you, we're looking at least about a good 600 to 700 acres of land right there, and that should be protected land. If you haven't seen phase 3, you need to run back there and check it out. You really need to check it out. And the head of NRCS, his name is Terrence Rudolph. Uh, I've been knowing him for a while. Since I've been elected, I've been working with him. And so once he told me that he's getting fish and wildlife out there, I was like, okay. I said, so we're looking at a protected area? He said, well, we're going to work on that. I said, okay. So that's what I'm looking for. If I can do that, that's going to be really big. And my next big thing is making sure I can get this TRO. Once I get this TRO, I really can defend this community.
Is it
So I
legal to
need.
drain natural lakes and streams?
No, that's where Army Corps engineer come in. But you got to think about you dealing with politics, and a lot
Is that
of
in the plans though? Does that have to be in the plans if they're
that
gonna
have to be in the
drain?
plan. That have to be in the plans, and
So
that's why I disapprove. They didn't have that in the plans when they wanted to build phase 2. And I was asking about where's the lakes, where's the ponds, what you gonna do with these lakes and ponds that you're not putting on this development plans. Because I
ooh,
asked the local folks that was around, and they'll say, "Hey, there's a lot of lakes and streams up in there." I said, "Oh, really?" And so I asked the guy who drew up the plans, the development plans. I said, "Hey, can you tell me why you don't have these lakes and streams up in there?" And he said, "Well, we're gonna make them out of retaining ponds." And I said, "We don't do that anymore. You can't do that." So that's was one of the reasons why I disapprove it. And so y'all seeing that happening right now, that they're using your ponds and the stuff like for stormwater runoff when it was supposed to be building a detention pond, not a retaining pond. Retaining ponds are only built for temporary until the majority of the homes are built. Then they close it up. So that's what happened. And
who can I contact and say were they notified that this happened in this community? Because it has to be Doesn't someone have to like say something or report it?
You need to report it to the Army Corps engineer.
And how do I find out what year it happened?
You have to look at the development plans, not the development plans, but you can get that from planning and development.
Oh Lord. Okay, so so I need to notify Army Corps of Engineers that streams, ponds, and lakes in this community have been drained.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you gotta call Army Corps engineer, and first thing they're gonna tell you is that do you have any wetlands, because they're under federal section 404, and you do. That one that's behind Ray.
Phase
That's
one retention
yeah,
pond, basically, is a wetland.
yeah. Both of them are wetlands. They both are. You got wildlife living in it.
And phase two too? I didn't know that.
Yeah. The one you seen the one behind Ray?
Hmm. Yeah, it's water all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an ugly pond. I have a whole bunch of mess in them.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime you got wild animals living in there, uh, you the homeowners, y'all don't need to, that y'all not responsible for that. That's what I've been raising hell with them about. I said, you guys know that the law, don't you? That is not a retaining pond. It's not a detention pond. That is wildlife in there. And so now Army Corps engineer have to be involved, USDA, NRCS, they have to be involved, and DNR. All of them have to be involved. Those are the ones that's going to put the money in to take care of that. That's the hell I'm raising with them. That's what I told them. I said, no. And so the county said, well, that's y'all. No, it's not y'all responsibility. That's what I had to make sure I had to correct. What their responsibility is, they still have that that equipment in there for this. They made it sort of like it was a detention to drain the water off, but it's not. And the water that they're draining off out of that pond is not enough. That pond is not supposed to be full at all. Most detention ponds and all that are pretty dry, unless it rained real hard and you have a whole lot of stone water coming through. But other than that, these detention ponds are not looking like a pond. They are drained off into the lakes and the rivers. And you guys weren't supposed to be drained off into Yellow River. But you got some beavers over there that can block all that. So that's wildlife. Anytime you got wildlife living in any one of those, that is for NRCS, USDA, DNR, and Army Corps engineer.
Can you put all of those acronyms in the in the chat? You gotta put some acronyms in the chat. Dang. That's a lot. Okay, so the guy, the director of infrastructure or director of stormwater said that he's gonna fix that because we don't want the road to collapse in that area in phase one where that pond is because it's not draining properly. But he didn't say what the plan for it was and how much, like how we're gonna get the money to do it. But he did say within 2 weeks they'll be working on it. But I don't know what working on it means.
And when did that 2 weeks start?
He also said after he does that, they're not responsible. The HOA is. So HOA already spent like over 35 grand on like, fixes. And the next fix, the company said, look, we need 80 grand to fix this. It's, what we're doing is not going to work anymore. So we need them to fix it permanently or transition it to whatever it's supposed to be. I haven't heard that. I just heard we're going to fix it. And I don't think it's a quick fix. I thought it was very expensive.
They trying to make sure they don't have any responsibility. But at the same time, they can't tell you guys to give them to pay out 20,000 or 35,000. You can go around the county, and none of those folks are keeping up anything for us retaining ponds. The majority of the retaining ponds are overgrown. So what I'm telling you is that that is not a retaining pond, and that is not your responsibility. That's why I told him up front. I said that's not their problem when you have wildlife living in there. That's why I sent the pictures and everything to USDA and NRCS. I just have to send the pictures to Army Corps Engineer, but that's why all of them are getting involved. So I already know how Mr. Terrence Sinskin, that's his name is. I already know what he was going to say. He's pretty much going to make sure that the county is not responsible for anything. And what I'm doing is holding their feet to the fire and said, you can holler that all you want to, but you're not going to make these people pay any more money out there. And you're not going to find them because I'm not going to let that happen. That's why I call in the feds. That's why I call in all these folks to make sure that, and I took the pictures so they can see exactly what's going on. And they say, yeah, you're correct. That is wildlife. That is not their responsibility. That's us. So make sure y'all have your invoice ready because I'm going to make sure that they need to refund you guys because they wasn't talking about no major law that you guys have to pay $20,000 to keep up wetlands.
Their excuse was it's in our covenant. You need to read the covenant. They said it's specific about drains and detention ponds, and it states there that it is the responsibility of the HOA or whatever. So they're going, they had our covenants highlighted and was sitting there talking to us, didn't share it with us or anything, just said you need to read it. And we're doing it. They said we're doing a favor by fixing this. We can get in trouble if other people say, or if a developer says, oh, since you took responsibility, then you're gonna have to fix this over here too. And it was like we can be sued or whatever they were talking. They're basically saying that we're gonna do this because of safety. There's safety concerns of citizens, but it's not their responsibility, and they're only gonna do this thing this one time, and now we have to take over after. It was very clear.
Yeah, but they wasn't talking the law. They weren't talking about no law. They didn't mention that one OCGA law, and then they talked about detention pond. They didn't talk about wetlands. They didn't talk about animals living in those wetlands area that they built. So what they're saying is that really, anytime you have a mechanical that is on the property that the county put there, the county is responsible for it. Not the people. They have to keep up. That's why he have to come back out there and fix it. That's the first thing I told him. Remember, I was asking him, what system are you doing? What are you doing, the gravity system or is it the mechanical system? And he never answered it. All he said, I'm gonna fix the pipe. So no, that's not your responsibility. That's not. They know it. But if they can give you some fear and tell you that you need to be responsible, they're going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that. So that's why I challenged them and told them, I said, no. And that's why I called all these entities to make sure that you guys are covered.
All right. So we just got a lot of work to do.
Got a lot of work to do, but at the same time, you guys don't, I'm not going to let them put that mess on you guys because that's between Rockdale County and the developers. They're the ones who set that mess up. They're the ones who designed that mess. And they already know I know exactly how they're supposed to be designed and not. So, no, y'all not going to be putting out no more money and all of that. Reason why they were scared is because of the road being collapsed. And they are the DOT. They have an entity that's DOT, and that's part of them. And if anybody get hurt because of that road collapse, they are liable. That's why you see them running real quick. So if it wasn't no road, they wouldn't be thinking about fixing that. So if anybody got anything more to say, but I really enjoy all this conversation, and we got to put it to pen and paper.
Again, thank you, Chairman. And we hear you. We hear you. We got our marching orders, and we're gonna get to it.
All righty. Like I told you, I'm available anytime. I want to make sure that you guys, your community is very successful. This is a 501. I want to make sure you understand this. You are a business. So, if there's nothing else, we'll end this meeting, and my next meeting will be in October, the fourth Friday in October, and at 8:30. And like I said, I'm working on this TRO, so I'm working fast and furious to make sure that we put these paperwork in place so we can have control of our county, not the developers. So, anybody had any more questions? We'll end this meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. All right. Y'all take care.